Hey everybody. So I've been having a lot of questions about what my process is and kind of how I came up with my prismatic style, which is vastly different than what I've been currently painting, which is kind of these more realistic-ish gouache paintings, which for me has been a nice study into how to evolve the prismatic style because the style for the prismatics is so colorful and vibrant and graphic. I've been wanting to try to figure out how I can expand that and how I can kind of make that series better than what it is. And so I wanted to just kind of show people that that style, it didn't just happen for me overnight. It's been a very long process to get to it. And so I wanted to show you just a little bit of about the process and kind of where I've come from as an artist and maybe help you in your creative endeavors. So here are some of my sketchbooks that I've had throughout the years. Obviously there's quite a few in here. I used to be a lot better about sketching more often than I do. But as you'll see, like I'll have stuff like this where it's just like designing furniture that I'm gonna build, or random like weird drawings of zombie kind of stuff, like sketches, more zombies, cats, more furniture. I really love building furniture, so that's been kind of a hobby of mine, kind of more political drawings, random writings and ideas. I do a lot of storyboarding. It's one thing that really helps me is storyboarding out ideas. And so a lot of my sketchbooks are actually kind of stuff like this, where it's just random ideas for stories, how to tell them. And from there, it's been helpful as far as like figuring out actual paintings. I have a lot of stuff too like this, where it's just life drawings, costume drawing sessions, and kind of playing with shape and color and whatnot, and trying to just expand my skill set and learn. That's the main thing about art, is constantly kind of learning, being inspired, and trying to evolve. And more stuff, like as you notice, like a lot of these sketchbooks are like they're pretty random. Like it'll go like I'll have just like a few sketches and kind of these abstract kind of sketches, ideas for posters, for short films that I've done throughout the years, more kind of random doodles, monsters, more life drawing kind of stuff, and just tons of like storyboards and whatnot. But most of these sketchbooks are all just like very random as far as what's in them. Anything from a lot of storyboards and kind of figuring out things like that, to blank pages, to character designs where I'm kind of coming up with an idea for a character or a music video. These are things that I've created in the past as far as music videos, ideas for cartoon characters, like silhouette pages, stuff like that. But during the pandemic, I actually was feeling very uninspired, and I hadn't created art in a long time. And so I picked up one of these little Moleskine sketchbooks, and this is just a watercolor Moleskine. And this is actually the first drawing that I did in February of 2020. And so I did this painting all left-handed, and I'm a right-handed artist. And so I spent a year just sketching every night while I was watching the sunset. And I would do these watercolor and ink sketches. In this one, I kind of began to cycle through the rainbow for my color palette. And some are obviously better than others, more involved. But I'm just kind of trying to figure things out. And I started actually noticing a lot of these themes of landscapes, and kind of trying to find the landscape out of the randomness that I was creating. And like to me, these kind of looked like trees and maybe like a lake and maybe like some kind of stairway. And this exercise was really helpful for me as far as just kind of I didn't have any plan of anything. I didn't do any like sketching or thinking. I just sat down and I just began these. And it was super helpful for just kind of breaking out of that funk of not knowing what to create, or the perfectionism that often creeps in when you're comparing yourself to others. Like you'll see an amazing oil painting and want to do something like that. But this just kind of allowed me to explore. And after doing like these kind of more abstracts for a while, I kind of got a little bit sick of them. Not really sick of them, but I wanted to kind of like expand and see where I could take them, kind of like what I'm doing with my prismatic stuff. And so I started trying to do drawings of people, and I was just working from photographs or books. Like this was the Wright brothers airplane, and the Kitty Hawk, and then maybe like movie stills or whatever. And but still trying to incorporate this abstraction in there, like Picasso working, um, and really just kind of trying to push things, but evolving. And so after doing this series for a year, I began to like really kind of see art in a different way, and it kind of opened me up to finding my own style, and it helped me evolve into doing more of these prismatic, really bright, graphic kind of paintings. And um, so I don't know. I hope this is helpful for you, and maybe it'll inspire you, kind of give you some insight as to how you could push and evolve your own style. I hope it was helpful for you to see a little bit of my process and kind of what's gone into developing my style. And if you have any further questions, feel free to hit me up. I'd love to have a conversation, maybe see how we could work together and how I could help you evolve your own style.